Alright, what's going on guys, it's your boy Zilchi, welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel video. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the tier list for February, or the tier list since January till now, but for the most part since Sprights came out. This is post-Sprite release, so we're going to take a look at the tier list and how it has impacted Master Duel and the tournament scene specifically, and how good these decks still are, right? So as you can see, we have tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and honestly, let's just hop straight into it. If you guys do enjoy this video, hit that like button, comment, share, subscribe, all that stuff. Yeah, let me know your thoughts if you guys agree with Master Duel Meta's list. This is more or less what I would also say are the best decks in the game. So we're just gonna go ahead. We're gonna take a look at their deck lists. We're gonna talk about why the decks are still considered top tier, and you know, just our overall thoughts on the deck. So like I said, if you guys do enjoy this video, hit that like button, comment, share, subscribe, and let's just hop straight into it. We're gonna start off from the bottom with the tier 3 lists, right? So let's see. We have Brigade Sprite, which by the way I didn't even know existed, but this is ridiculous. This is a really strong deck, and I think I'm gonna make a video on it because it's actually really good. It works really good, right? You have your level 2s. The Karas, it works really well with the Sprights because the Sprights need in order to special summon them, right? You need a level 2, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, a level 2 monster. You can special summon this card. Karas can special summon itself from the hand by sending a beast monster to the graveyard. Let's read it. You can discard one other beast or beast warrior or winged beast monster, special summon this card from your hand, and it's really good in conjunction with, let's say, like a blue. Blue adds the jet, then you can special summon out a jet, get the smashers, or you can get a starter, special summon out like a red or a carrot, and then you have your negate there. You go into gigantic sprite. You can just extend your combos that way, right? Very good deck, very consistent deck. This is a good deck list if you guys want to use it. Everything is going to be on the Master Duel Meta website, so if you guys want to use the deck, go ahead. Here it is. Shout out. This one first place in a tourney, it says right here, February 18th. So this deck is gonna be pretty good. If you will use it in the ranked ladder, this can definitely hit diamond rank. Anything Sprite basically, I feel like can hit diamond rank. Sprite is just really good right now overall, right? So here's the deck list. Here's a bunch of cards that you can use, and my alarm is going off, but it is what it is. And yeah, that's the first list in the tier 3. Let's take a look at the next one. We have Mech. Agreed. Mech, even after the Sprite drop, still very good, very consistent. Going first, you're probably gonna win with Mech, alright? Because you're gonna be able to get out your combos. You can play through a lot of negates, right? You can play through Sprites as well. You can play through Omni negates. You can play through a lot if you have the right cards. This deck is very good, very versatile. From what I've seen, I haven't personally used the deck, but I do know that it can be very powerful. Right now it is tier 3, but at one point before Sprites it was tier 1, okay, or tier 2, I believe. Anyways, it was the best deck in the game, I should say. It was the best deck in the game. Again, here is the list if you guys do want to take a look at it and use it yourselves. There it is. Perfect. Let's take a look at the next. We got Runic. Runic by itself before Sprites were top tier. I believe they were also considered the best deck in the game. Mech was a runner with it, right? So this is the deck for Runic. That was very good. The Amano Iwato, or Iwato, I use that in Duel League, so I was playing that. Cannot be special summoned. Monsters cannot activate their effects except spirit monsters. Once per turn, during the end phase of this card was a normal summon or flip face up this turn, return this card to the hand. So pretty good, right? So I believe if you normal summon, or if this card is on the field, they can't use a nib, because it says monsters cannot activate their effect. So I don't know, I haven't tried it with nib, but this deck very good. This deck has such good draw power, and the ability to banish your opponent's cards from their deck is crazy. I didn't even know they were doing that. I never looked at Runic, I never used Runic, I never did a video on Runic, and I don't know why, but after I've seen it and I was looking at it in the Runic Sprites, seeing it banish the cards from your opponent's deck or send it to the graveyard or wherever it goes, and then your ability to recycle your own deck and drawing based on it, you won't, like, what can the deck not do, right? You can destroy your opponent's cards, you could send them to the vanish yard. It's basically, you can trap your opponent's field. It's just ridiculous. It can do so much. It's just a really good deck overall, and you have cards like Skill Drain to help you, and evenly matched these, because you're not running any monsters in this besides your extra deck, but you're not running any monsters in this, okay? In the main deck, no monsters. You don't need it. Very good deck. Deserved spot tier 3. I would even say it could be tier 2, alright? Could be tier 2 after Sprite, but we digress. Tier 3 is perfectly fine for it. Let's take a look at the next, which is Sword Soul Henny. I'm not gonna lie to you, I am still surprised that this deck is up here, but at the same time I'm kind of not, because Protoss is still legal. I think this deck is so good right now because of Protoss. If you're able to get Protoss out, you're probably gonna win. I'm gonna be honest. If you're going first, and I need to sneeze. Hold on. We're good. If you get Protoss out, you're probably gonna win, right? Because you're able to lock the type that your opponent's playing. Especially this meta, if you know what cards your opponents are using. It doesn't do too well against Runics, but you know, it'll do well against other stuff. This is a good deck list as well. But yeah, this deck, I think this deck is one of the longest lasting deck in terms of overall power in the tier list. For like, it probably is the longest lasting one, right? Because this deck has been through a lot of ban lists, right? So I think it's pretty good. I think what we see here is pretty fair. At one point it was still tier 1 for, like, it was topping tournaments, so it was ridiculous. I couldn't believe it. Dark Ruler no more helps out, and we have trap cards like Evenly Match and Imperm helping you out as well, and its own trap card, which is Blackout, which is very, very, very good. Still, this deck is amazing. Going second or first, really, really good. Let's take a look at tier 2 now. We got Sprite. Okay, I would agree with this. In tier 2, I do believe pure Sprite is deserved for tier 2. I would say them banning the Toad Totally Awesome definitely did hit this deck, right? Like, Totally Awesome was a turn 1 play for this deck, but ever since banning it, obviously you don't have that power anymore to get your negate with Totally Awesome. You could also have Carrot on the field with Totally Awesome to help you get 2 negates right there. Then you also have your cards that you could set to help interrupt the plays. You'd also have your Masquerena and stuff like that, right? That would make the deck so much better, and I do believe if it was still a thing, I think it would go up to tier 1, but because we don't have Totally Awesome, deck is definitely in tier 2 for pure Sprites, right? But that doesn't mean the deck is not good, right? Tier 2 is literally just one step below tier 1. It's just missing that one thing, and I'm telling you, the one thing is Totally Awesome. This deck can still cook your opponent because of the amount of hand traps that you can run. So it's not running that many, but you can run so many hand traps. So Max C, okay, never mind. He is running a lot of hand traps, or this deck is running a lot of hand traps here. We have Effect Veiler, Max C, the Gamma, the Cyframe. We have Nib, we have Ash, Call by the Grave, Cross Out, Imperm. That is a lot, okay? Then your opponent, if you go in second, GG. Honestly, your opponent's gonna have to find a way to play through a bunch of hand traps, and for the most part, you can play with the hand traps in your hand. Max C is even better now because of Sprite, where you can normal summon the Max C and special summon out a Sprite and then combo off like that. You literally go into your Gigantic Sprite, then combo off like that, right? So this deck is very, very good. Pure Sprites, I do believe that it can stay at tier 2. It can go to tier 1. I think it can go to tier 1, but it's missing that Totally Awesome. If they ever decide to unban Totally Awesome, you can see this deck being tier 1. I don't think this deck is gonna last that long for it being in the tier 2, because Tearlament is gonna drop, and people consider Tearlament the best deck to have ever graced the Yu-Gi-Oh! Ever. So insane. I'm gonna be honest with you, insane deck. From what I've seen in the TCG, I've never used it, but when it does drop, we need to expect a lot of videos, tutorials, and stuff like that. You already know we cover everything over here on this channel. So here's the deck list for that. Here's Sprights right here. W. Let's take a look at the next one. We have Despia, top tier. Completely agreed. This deck is so good still, even with all the bans that it got. It got like two. It went through two nerfs, right? 2 nerfs so far, and it probably is gonna go through another one. I'm gonna be honest with you. This deck is very good. The ability to fuse from the deck itself is the reason why this deck is so good. The fact that you can fuse from the deck is so amazing. And the ability, you have so many cards that can grab you branded fusion. It's just so consistent. Even this card being at 2 doesn't really matter, right? Because you have cards like Spriggan's Kit to grab that for you. So technically you're running 6 right here. You have branded opening to get you into your Albert to grab you the branded fusion. Or you're probably going to draw into it because at 3, there's just a high chance, 33% chance for you to draw it, right? So this deck, very good. I can see it being tier 2. Very good deck. If you guys want to see more videos of this deck, I will be bringing it back to take a look at how well it does this season, right? So there it is, tier 2. And of course, you guys already know tier 1, Runic Sprite, best deck in the game, in my opinion. I can agree with this. Runic's overall, Runic itself is just top tier, and Sprite itself is just top tier. So it would make sense if you could find 2 top tier decks, and if they work, they're tier 1, right? So very good deck. There's not much I could say because I already said Runic and Sprite, but this deck is very good. The ability with Runics to use the cards to get rid of your opponent's cards by banishing them, and your ability to recycle your cards from the graveyard, and you can have draw power, is insane. And on top of that, you have your interruptions with the Sprite cards. So if they decide to do anything, you have your Sprite cards to interrupt. You have cards like Avermax that you can go into thanks to the Sprites. Masquerena protects your Avermax, by the way. Mask protect your Avermax from being from destruction effects, I think it is. I just need to read it. Hold on. Let's read it here. During your opponent's main phase, you can immediately after this effect resolve, link monster using materials you control, include this card. You can only use IP Masquerena once per turn. A link monster that is used this card as material cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effect. Exactly. So very good card. And while Avermax is so good, it's because it says while this card is summoned, your opponent cannot target this card with card effect, but they can't target it. Also, their opponents cannot target monsters for attacks except this one. And every time this card is attacked, this card by a special summon monster, you can make this card gain attack equal to the attack of the special summon monster. So for this card can't be targeted. It can be banished by like a Mirror Jade or something like that, or anything that's non-target, right? But it can be targeted. So Zeus would work on this. If you went into Zeus, Zeus would probably destroy it. So it can be destroyed by card effect. It won't be destroyed by battle, because you'll probably just gain the attack and then the opponent's card will be destroyed instead. And it's not once per turn. It's every time they attempt to attack with a special summoned card, right? So really good. What was I saying? Can't be destroyed by card effects. Can't be targeted. The card is basically really good. And it's in this deck thanks to the Sprites. And you're able to go easily into the mask. Elf, bring back a card, then you're able to just link off like that. Beautiful deck. Very strong deck. Yeah, that is basically the tier list review. This deck is really good. The tier list so far is actually really good. This meta that we are in is probably the most diverse meta we're probably gonna get for this game. All right, because I'm telling you, the next ban list is gonna be crazy. Okay, or maybe not the next, but the one after the next has to be crazy. There's no way they're gonna let the cards like this stay as it is, bro. Max C needs to get banned, or at least limited to 1. Like, I'm telling you, the card now has so much more use than it did before, and the fact you can search Max C with the Sprite cards is ridiculous. You can literally search Max C and grab it. I had a video yesterday or 2 days ago where I was watching the replay, and the replay showed us bouncing our own Mech C from the field back to our hand so that way we can use it next turn. That is ridiculous. But yeah, I think Mech C needs to get banned. Hashtag ban Mech C in the comments. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like button, comment, share, subscribe, let me know your thoughts on the tier list, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.